Your greatest responsibility is to use your voice.
For there are so many people.
Too many people in our world.
Who are never heard. Even when they scream.
Women aren't seen as capable as men. Even if we are equipped to do certain things, we're still not given that credential. At the end of the day, you're still a girl. You're still not able to do everything a man can do because it is a man's world.
To me, the definition of an object is something someone owns that can be manipulated for their own use. So it's something you have full control over.
Sometimes I think that it might be even a very primal definition, like back when, we were cavemen, we were seen as something to protect. I think that very easily associates in the head of a man with something that they might possess. I think sometimes we allow ourselves to become objects also, I think, out of that same primal need to be protected. I don't know, I feel like all of those programs are still somewhere in there in our brainstem, so for us it's like, we feel a need to have a man to protect us, and therefore we fit into what role they need us to be.
The Me Too movement mainly got popular about 2 years ago. It was started to give people in general voices to talk about their sexual assault stories in an attempt to end sexual assault.
To me, the Me Too movement is just a chance to express things that you felt as if you couldn't before, things that you've been shut down from talking about, or things that people get uncomfortable talking about.
10 years before this even happened, and people would complain about being a woman or complain about being either treated as second-class citizens or being objectified. I think a big part of it was that we didn't speak up, and so who was going to listen?
Can you say your name?
Lily. I'm from Colombia. I was born in Cali, Colombia, and I moved here when I was 4.
My name's Talia Azarudin, and I am an Indian American woman.
Hi, I'm Kiara, and I identify with the Black community.
My name's Maha. My family is from Lebanon. I was born in the United States, and I'm Muslim.
Me with the hijab on might turn off people from even having those conversations, so it's she doesn't have rights anyways, she's oppressed anyways, why should I go talk to her type of situation. It's definitely kind of puts that barrier that prevents a lot of people. If you actually cared about the issue, regardless of what the barriers is, you would go that extra mile to make it so that it is a human right, to make it as important as you say it is to you.
They think it's part of our identity to be oppressed that way. They don't really go forward and try to help as much as they'll help with other people.
At the same time, while they are seen as strong sometimes in the sense that they go through a lot, they're also weak to the sense that they appear to need to have some sort of male figure supporting them.
I think Latin America, particularly Colombia, is super behind on what would be the Me Too movement. They're so behind that they're not even to what we might conceptualize of it here. Someone like Sofia Vergara, for example, and what she's known for, and how, what people automatically assume about Sofia Vergara as soon as they think of her, that's a very good example of how women are currently in their mindset in our country. It's you're an object, and that's that.
I did listen to R. Kelly's music. I grew up listening to his music. There are songs that I still would hear to this day and know the lyrics to and would have enjoyed listening to. And I feel his music is definitely geared towards the Black community. He's making it for us, but he's also making it for everyone else as well. I just feel as if we kind of grew onto it because of the fact that it was someone of our own color also making this music that was good.
Kelly was charged with 14 counts of child pornography, but jurors acquitted him on every charge.
It's harder to accept that someone of your own group, that's a prominent figure and someone that they look up to, did something wrong. It's a lot to take in and a lot to accept, and I think that people are still just trying to decide what they're doing with that information, whether it's that they want to stop listening to his music and stop supporting him, or if they want to look the other way and think, no, that can't have happened. He couldn't have done that.
Amal Clooney came out and said that she was going to help defend a girl in court because she had been raped and human trafficked by different ISIS members.
Nadia herself was traded from one ISIS fighter to another.
She was forced to pray, forced to dress up and put makeup on in preparation for rape.
She showed people in her village and said all these girls are probably going to get human trafficked, but no one's going to save them. All this stuff is going on, but nobody's asking her how she is. A lot of people don't really care about Arab girls. This is a young girl that had her life taken away from her, and nobody knows about the story.
You'll hear about, you know, some like white celebrity and like she'll get like so much coverage, so many retweets, so many everything, but it's like when it comes down to an Arab woman talking about or representing Muslim women, it doesn't get as much coverage because it's like, do people really care?
I think that if we're not appropriately represented, it's because nobody speaks up, and if somebody does, all other women look at her like, are you crazy? Like, what kind of woman are you? You must not be a woman if this is what you're doing. Women in my own family have kept quiet about so many things that later on I hear about it. I'm like, how does no one talk about this? And no one talks about it. And if you talk about it, it's usually, it's very common that if somebody says like, oh, hey, you know, this person kind of sexually harassed me, the room will just hush and then move on to a different topic.
Beautiful, but objectified.
Resilient, but underestimated.
Compassionate, but overly emotional.
Inviting, but a tease.
Independent, but selfish.
What about the girl right across the street who maybe wears a hijab or who doesn't? It's even a greater taboo, I guess, in her community, but she doesn't have that same platform to come out because she might not feel welcome because she's like, oh, but like all the people coming out are like, you know, the same type of like demographic.
I am the product of all the ancestors getting together
And deciding these stories need to be told.